The dust of the ravaged homeland still clung to Henry's clothes, a phantom weight heavier than any physical burden. He had crossed borders, evaded patrols, and run on pure adrenaline within the opulent walls of a wealthy landlord's mansion in a neighboring, more stable land. He found it under the cloak of a moonless night, a sprawling edifice, until he found an unlocked service entrance. He moved like a ghost, his gaunt frame a shadow in the lavish corridors, his eyes darting, searching for an escape, a sanctuary. A woman sat by the window, her back to him, reading. She was younger than he'd expected, with long, dark hair flowing over a silk robe. When she turned, her eyes, wide and startled, met his. A scream choked in her throat, her book falling to the plush carpet with a soft thud. "Please," Henry gasped, his voice raw and hoarse, his hands raised in a gesture of surrender. "Please don't scream. I mean you no harm." His knees buckled. He stumbled forward, collapsing at her feet. "My life hangs by a thread. They will find me. They will kill me. Please have mercy. Just for a few days, a few hours, hide me." Leona stared down at the man, a stranger weeping at her feet, his words painting a vivid, terrifying picture of the chaos just beyond their borders. "If you wish to survive in this house," she said, her voice firm, "you will have to live here in disguise. You will have to live as a woman." Henry recoiled as if struck, his head snapping up. Live as a woman? The word a bitter pill. Good. Then we begin. She worked with surprising gentleness, applying a sheer foundation to his rugged face, brushing blush onto his cheekbones, and darkening his lashes. Next, she presented him with clothes. A flowing, emerald green anarkali dress, adorned with delicate gold embroidery, shimmered in the lamplight. It was elegant, designed to flow and drape, concealing his masculine frame. Over that, finally, a long, silk dupatta, the same rich emerald, was draped over his head, framing his now softened face, covering his hair. The door opened, and a tall, imposing man strode in. This was the landlord, the master of the house, a figure of authority and wealth. He narrowed his eyes, studying Henry's posture, the breadth of his shoulders, even concealed. He slowly circled Henry, his scrutiny intense. "This is no woman," he declared, his voice hard. "This is a man." Leona rushed to explain, her voice laced with urgency. "Brother, please just listen. This man has come to us for shelter. He is a refugee from his country, which is in great turmoil. If he is caught here, our soldiers will kill him. He is simply seeking refuge. I have ordered him to live as a woman to ensure his safety within our home. He will live like a woman here." The landlord's gaze intensified, a predatory gleam entering his eyes as he looked at Henry, who stood frozen, barely breathing. A slow smile spread across his face, chilling and calculating. "Okay," he said, the word drawn out. "He will have to live the rest of his life like this woman. He will be made a woman completely. And I will marry him." The process of making Henry a woman began in earnest, orchestrated by Leona with an unsettling blend of care and clinical, form-fitting courtesy that accentuated the new softness of his contours and flowing skirts that swirled around his legs. The dressing table became a daily ritual of transformation, delicate eyeliner, soft lip tints, and elaborate hairstyles taught by Leona's own stylist. Then came the injections, hormone treatments that surged through his body, initiating profound changes. He felt a strange tingling in his chest, a sensitivity he hadn't known. Slowly, agonizingly, his body began to reshape itself. His face softened further, the angular planes dissolving into gentle curves. His skin, once tough, became smoother, almost translucent. But the most startling changes were internal. The landlord watched him from his armchair, a glass of amber liquid in his hand. "You are becoming a perfect woman," he declared, his voice low, a possessive note in his tone. "After a few more days, you will have to spend time with me as my wife. And I will also give you a great deal of pleasure." The final transformation came with surgery. Under the expert hands of discreet surgeons, Henry's female organs were fully developed, She felt a profound shift, an emptiness and fullness that both shocked and fascinated her. She looked at her reflection in a handheld mirror, a breathtakingly beautiful woman with a voluptuous figure, captivating face. Yesterday, he was Henry, a man on the run. Today, she was a woman reborn. The landlord welcomed her as his wife, not as Henry, but as Helena. He presented her with a magnificent sapphire necklace, its deep blue stones mirroring the new depths in her eyes. "Welcome, Helena," he said, his voice softer, almost tender. "My wife." Helena stood there, her head bowed slightly, accepting her new name, her new identity. She was no Henry to return to. She was Helena, the landlord's wife, a woman in a country that offered her safety, a life she never imagined. She embraced the elaborate silks and satins, the intricate jewelry, the careful makeup. She learned to speak in softer tones, to carry herself with an aristocratic grace. Every morning, she would sit at her dressing table, a treasury of cosmetics and perfumes laid out before her. She would carefully apply her foundation, contour her cheeks, add a touch of deep kohl to her eyes, and choose a vibrant lipstick. She brushed her long, dark hair, now allowed to grow out, marveling at its softness. When her husband's eyes would light up upon seeing her, when he would pull her into his arms and speak words of love and admiration, a warmth, genuine and undeniable, spread through her. She felt cherished, desired, alive. Helena had been born from a desperate act of survival, but now she embraced her new life, her new self. She was living her happy life as a woman, a wife.